I met someone and they told me about Uptown Records. And I went there. And of course, I met Andre Harrell. And I was there briefly. And I met Teddy Riley there. And I had a short stint with it. It was very short. You know, I actually did write a song called Wishing You Were Here. It was supposed to be for me. I had a deal on Capitol Records. Oh. Things didn't really work out. I decided to bounce. And they decided to give the song to the girls. Oh. So that was their first song, Wishing You Were Here. And after I bounced, I just started working with Teddy.
First, how did you get the Capitol stuff? Because did you get Capitol first, then you went to Uptown? Was that the first?
Yeah, I met Teddy from Uptown Records. That's how I met him.
Oh, no, I'm talking
about I didn't know him before that.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the Capitol stuff. Before you meet Teddy.
That was at Uptown Records. That was all Andre Harrell.
Okay. No, but you mentioned you had a deal at Capitol.
It had to do with Uptown Records.
Oh, it had to do with Uptown. Okay,
right.
Okay.
That was all through Uptown Records.
Okay.
Right. And that was Andre Harrell's doing.
Okay. So when you first actually heard about Uptown, because, you know, I spoke to Jimmy Love Jenkins a couple of weeks ago, and they were coming up when they had Heavy D. Were you aware of Andre as Dr. Jacqueline Hyde, or were you aware of the fact that he was managing Heavy D and he was starting a label?
Well, I knew Heavy D and all of those guys back then, Finesse and Quest. I was there in the very, very beginning. When I met Teddy there, the Heavy D and the boys was there. You know what I'm saying? Finesse and Quest, Groove Be Chill. You know what I'm saying? Some of the very first groups he had before Mary J. Blige. By the time Mary J. Blige got there, I wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I was there early.
Early, yeah. And
which is the story of my life, because a lot of my stories are, I'm there in the early stages of the Neptunes, the early stages of Teddy Riley, the early stages of Uptown. That's you know, that's sort of the story of my life, which is good. I like it.
Yeah, a lot of fans were asking me when I was interviewing Jimmy, but I didn't get it out. Is that how come you didn't get signed to Uptown, because they were aware of your vocals and skills? At that point in time, did Andre try and sign you, or what was the...
I did get signed. I was signed to Capitol Records through Uptown.
Okay, like the girls.
But then I decided to part ways.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Was there any particular reason?
Yeah, we didn't have a meeting of the minds anymore.
Okay. So in those days, was it creative? And because I know your fans are going to be wondering, because we always used to wonder why you never came out with an album back then. But it was, did you get to know much about the industry back in those early days that you thought, you know, I'm going to turn away the deal that's offered and until I feel comfortable around it?
Listen, that's where I learned everything, going through all these things. Every situation taught me the industry. I didn't know the industry when I got into it. I knew a little bit because my father had been in. I knew to, you know, copyright my songs and, you know, how to protect my music. That part I knew. But I didn't know the other things that went on in the industry. But I learned. And as I learned, I adjusted it to make it work for me. What worked for me, what didn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it got to a point where it didn't work for me anymore. So I parted ways.
Okay. And that was with the Capitol deal. Okay.
That was with Uptown and with Capitol Records. And the thing is that, so, you know, the plan was for me to come out on there, but it didn't go through because I parted ways and you know, I decided to do something different.
Yeah.
And which was, you know, connect with Teddy.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I did that, because my theory is I'm following the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I knew he had something. I loved what he was doing. I didn't know it was going to be the New Jack Swing sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know it was going to be all that, but I just know that it sounded real good, and it made people feel good, and it made me feel good to be a part of it. Teddy was still living at his mom's house in Harlem, but he lives Central Harlem. I'm Sugar Hill. So, you know, it wasn't that far. But anyway, after we, you know, met each other from Uptown, we stayed in touch. And I would go by his house, and he started working on different songs. And I believe the first song that we landed was Real Love for Stephanie Mills, which is big because Stephanie Mills, listen, to this day, she's tops for me. You know, these kids don't know.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's a premier R&B singer, young woman, young voice of the whiz. Okay. She was, you know, she was phenomenal. She is phenomenal, but I'm just saying, for such a young voice. I remember when she came in the whiz, of the people, you know, she was like another Melba Moore or something like that. She had like a big, huge voice, you know?
Yeah.
And it was distinctive.
Yeah.
So, and then after Stephanie Mills did the whiz, all those great songs she had, oh my God, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I think my audience won't forgive me if I didn't go back to, because you said at this point in time, so you were singing these in the circuits and really honing your talent, and you're looking to become a solo recording artist.
Well, I knew I didn't want to be in a group.
Okay.
I never had a desire to be in a group, but it wasn't so much that I was targeting, okay, I got to get a deal, I got to get a producer. I didn't even really know to do all of those things. That's why I say I was just kind of just led, and I just went, you know, and for me, it's the music, you know what I mean? But once I had met Teddy, and I liked what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? He was making songs, and I had songs already.
Around what year was this when you first met Teddy?
That was in the 80s, like, what, 87, 88?
So I think had he started to do Heavy's first album and Kumo D by the time you met him?
Oh, he had already did all that stuff.
Okay.
Because he was at Uptown on his own volition. We met each other at Uptown.
Okay.
I didn't know him before that. And once we connected at Uptown, and we had worked on Wishing You Were Here.
Okay.
Because Andre says, hey, Teddy, she lives in Harlem and you live in Harlem. And that's why it was easier, because Uptown was in Brooklyn at the time.
Okay.
So it was easier for us to connect, and we did. And it fit.
Okay. And what was about Teddy in those early days that that you could tell that he had something? Because it's easy in hindsight now, seeing after he did the whole Keith Sweat guy and everything. But back in those early days, what did you notice about him particularly? Because you grew up with your dad as a drummer, so you grew up with musicians. What did you know about the young Teddy?
Well, you know, majorly for me, like you said, because my dad is a drummer, I'm very I'm very keen on beats. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, you know, he that was one thing, you know what I mean? You know, he had a unique hip hop style, you know, about him. Like you said, he already had a bunch of hip hop hits. So I was familiar with that, you know what I mean? And then when we actually got together, I just thought it was dope how he was able to add the hip hop element into the R&B element, you know what I'm saying? And still keep it both authentic R&B.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And authentic hip hop.
And did he know how good he was? I mean, I say this, but you know, if you're a cook, you know your cooking is good. But did he know that he was good at what he was doing, or did he in those?
I think he knew. I think he knew because the people around him let him know that they loved it. You know what I'm saying? The people at the what was that? The rooftop, Miles?
Okay.
People at the rooftop, the people at St. Nick Projects,
Okay.
wherever his music was played at, you know. And one thing about people from Harlem, real people from Harlem, we got a lot of new people here. I don't know where they're from. Okay, I'm talking about the people from my era and the next era and behind or whatever case. We are real people. We're not fake people. We're not phony people. So we're not going to sit around and act like we like the song if we don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how he knew. When he played his music, people responded to it in a way where they was really feeling it.
Wow. And so you did the track for, I've lost it now. You did a first track for the, not the girls, for the girls.
Stephanie Mills?
No. The first track you did with Teddy was your track. Did he help produce it? The one?
Yeah, he produced it.
Okay.
He did the track. I wrote the lyrics. We went to Chung King Studios to record it. You know, this is all under Uptown.
Okay.
You know, and I recorded it, of course, with my voice. And then, like I say, the business side of music, we didn't see eye to eye on that. So then we couldn't do it.
Okay. So that's good that you learned that quickly. But then the next thing you started to work on with him was that the Keith stuff, or?
I want to say it was Stephanie Mills first. Stephanie Mills, then Keith Sweat. And then I think we did something for JT from Kool and the Gang. Teddy just started getting a slew of work, just a whole bunch of work. And then right after he did, what's that girl's name? Oh my God. I don't want to fall in love.
Oh, yes. It's
Jane Child. After he did Jane Child, like a whole bunch of work started coming for him. And then around then, I think it was after that, they came to him with the Heavy D thing.
Okay, no, we have to
come. Right, and then we did Is It Good to You? We did the first Is It Good to You, Heavy D and the Boys. Okay.
Yeah, you're rushing to you've got too many good stories that we don't want to rush. we don't want to rush. Because,
listen, it's not. Listen, I feel like I haven't done enough, so I'm gonna try to make up for it. You know, from this point on. But in any case,
no, you've done.
I only have a few songs. You got to think about it. Hey boy, is it good to you? Okay, 2 versions, but the same song. I don't have a few songs. Once again, Tribe Called Quest. I'm talking about that came out to the public. I have a lot of songs that I wrote with these guys that was never released. Yeah, we're talking about released stuff.
Well, yeah, but your name written down and backing vocals, so that's hence we've followed your career for a long time, even though you don't, even though we probably just saw you in 2 videos, but we'd seen you in a lot of things. I'm just going back to Stephanie Mills now. How did did you not pinch yourself when he said, we're going to work with Stephanie Mills?
Of course, because like I said, I knew who she was. And oddly enough, the music director for The Wiz at the time was Mr. Tom Bridwell. I did voice lessons with him. He happened to live not too far from me in Harlem. I don't even know how I heard about him. Somebody told me they knew I sang and they knew that he did vocal coaching. And I think this was after The Wiz, did its run on Broadway. Yeah. But the point is that I happened to study under the same man that did the music directing for The Wiz during the time that she was doing it on Broadway. So I'm just lucky. What can I tell you?
Yeah. So what was that first meeting with Stephanie? Did she come down to Teddy's mom's house, or did you go to the studio to do the work?
I actually met Stephanie after the song was done. You know what? I don't remember. No, she didn't come to the house. If she did, I wasn't there. I'm pretty sure Teddy gave me the track. I went home. I wrote what I wrote. I came back to Teddy's house. you know, like I always do, and I recorded a reference. And then he gave it to her because he didn't know whether she liked it or she didn't like it. And then she did like it, and she recorded it. I don't remember being in the studio when she was there and she recorded it.
Okay.
That part I don't remember. But I did meet her afterwards.
Oh, afterwards.
Yes, I met her afterwards.
Did she know that you were the one on the vocals?
Yes, she did.
What did she say?
She was very nice to me. I met her at the Schomburg. As a matter of fact, Andre Harrell was there. It was some type of event they had. And they did it, and it was like they had sort of like a backyard garden thing in the Schomburg here in Harlem. But it's remodeled now, but it's the way it used to be back then. But anyway, they had some type of big affair, banquet, dinner or something, la, la, la. She was there, Andre Harrell was there, I was there, Teddy was there, so, you know.
Okay, that's interesting.